Hello! Welcome to today's episode.
Let's listen to the benefits of having the B1 level.
So you've hit the B1 level in English? First off, congrats. Seriously, that is a major achievement. Think of it like reaching base camp on a massive mountain. You've done the hard climbing, and now you have this fantastic view. So in this explainer, we're going to map out exactly what that view looks like and plan the next exciting stage of your climb. All right, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off by celebrating where you are. Then we'll check out your communication toolkit. After that, we'll look at the road ahead to B2, unlock some awesome conversation superpowers, and wrap it all up with a practical action plan. It's going to be a packed few minutes, but so worth it.
All right, so welcome to B1. And this isn't just another level, It's a real turning point. This is where you go from being a basic user to an independent one. You've got the foundation, the structure is solid, and now you get to start decorating it with your own personality.
And that's the key word right there, independent. Seriously, at B1, you can really start to navigate the world in English. You can figure out problems on public transport, you can make your own travel plans, and you can talk about stuff that actually matters to you, your hobbies, your work, your life. You're officially self-sufficient. How cool is that?
And this, right here, is the real magic of B1. It's not just about survival English anymore. Nope. It's about expressing who you are. You can tell stories. You can share your dreams. You can explain why you believe what you believe. Your unique voice is finally starting to come through, loud and clear. Okay, so how does this independence actually show up in your day-to-day life? Let's break down the 4 core skills. Think of these as the essential tools you now have in your English communication toolkit. Let's take a look at what each one does.
First up, listening. Now, the key here is main points. You don't have to catch every single word anymore. Phew, right? You can follow a conversation or a meeting or a talk about a topic you know, and you get the gist, the main message, without getting totally lost in the details.
So what does this actually look like? Well, it means you can watch the news and get the headlines. You can kick back and enjoy a movie, especially when what's happening on screen helps you follow the plot. You can listen to a podcast about something you love, and maybe most importantly, you can actually keep up with everyday chats with your friends or coworkers.
Next up, reading. At B1, reading becomes this amazing tool for learning and, for actual fun. You can move beyond just simple signs and start really digging into articles about your hobbies or your job, as long as they're written in pretty straightforward language.
So, in practice, this means you can plan a trip using a travel brochure, you can read a newspaper article about something you're familiar with and get the main story, and you can understand an email from a friend telling you all about their vacation and how they felt. It's all about pulling out the info you need from everyday stuff.
Okay, let's talk about speaking, because this is a big one. The key phrase to remember is without preparation. You can just jump into a conversation. You don't have to rehearse every single sentence in your head beforehand. You can just start talking, and even if you pause or stumble a bit, you can get your message across.
So this means you can confidently check into a hotel or ask someone for directions. You can tell a friend about that great movie you saw last night, explaining the plot and what you thought of it. You can explain why you're thinking about changing jobs, and this is huge. You can keep a conversation going, you can manage it, even when you're searching for the perfect word.
And finally, let's look at writing. At the B1 level, you can connect your ideas together in a sequence. You're not just writing single, separate sentences anymore. You're actually building a whole paragraph or a message that flows logically from one point to the next.
So what can you write? Well, you can write an email to a friend describing a trip you just took. You could write a short, simple report for work, just summarizing some routine information. And just like with speaking, you can write about a film, outlining the story and sharing your opinion on it.
Okay, so you've got your B1 toolkit. You know exactly what you can do. The big question is, what's next? This next section is your map. We're going to look at the specific path that takes you from the B1 base camp all the way up to the next peak, the B2 level.
This table here, it lays out your grammar journey perfectly. On the left, that's the solid foundation you've already built. Talking about the past, using conditionals, all that good stuff. And on the right, those are your targets for B2. Mastering things like reported speech and the passive voice, that's going to add a whole new level of sophistication to your English. Seriously, think of this as your personal study guide.
But
Fluency is about more than just grammar. It's about managing a real conversation. Knowing how to interact smoothly is, well, it's everything. So let's look at a couple of simple, super powerful techniques that are basically superpowers in social situations.
Okay, knowing how to interrupt politely is a total game changer. And it's not rude, it's actually a sign of active participation. Having these phrases ready to go means you can confidently jump in with a question or comment without worrying about messing up the other person's flow. It gives you the power to really engage.
And this is how you start to steer the conversation, right? Sometimes the chat goes way off topic, or maybe you remember something really important you wanted to say. These simple little phrases are like a steering wheel. They let you change direction smoothly or get back on track, and it makes the whole interaction feel so much more natural and less stressful.
All right, we've got the map, we've got the superpowers. Now it's time for the action plan. This is where we turn all this knowledge into practice with some real, manageable steps you can take to lock in your B1 skills and start climbing towards B2.
Let's get specific. For your vocabulary and grammar, start thinking in English by using a monolingual dictionary. English to English. When you get stuck on a grammar point, don't just skip it. Look it up. Get curious. And practice guessing what words mean from the context when you're reading or listening. Oh, and become an active collector of language. Keep a list of those tricky phrasal verbs, like give up or look after, and collocations, which are just words that love to hang out together, like make a mistake.
And here's how you build that confidence day by day. Notice how these habits link right back to the B1 skills we were just talking about? You have to actively practice them. After you watch a movie, tell someone the story in English. Talk about the news with a language partner. Practice talking about your life, your past, your future. Just say it out loud, and try to write a little bit every day. I'm telling you, these small actions build up into massive fluency over time.
So there you have it. We've covered where you are, where you're going, and how to get there. You've got the tools, you've got the map, and now you have the action plan. The only thing left to do is to take that first step. So looking at everything we've talked about, what's the one thing, just one, that you're going to do today or this week to start your journey to B2? Your climb continues right now.
Thank you for listening. Have a good one.